Love is one of the most powerful emotions in human life. It can make people feel alive, excited, hopeful, and deeply connected. But love can also create confusion, anxiety, overthinking, and emotional vulnerability. Today, we will explore something many people wonder about but rarely fully understand: the psychology of women in love. How do women think when they truly love someone? Why do emotions affect them so deeply? Why do some women become distant even when they care? And why do small emotional moments matter so much? This episode is not about stereotypes. Every woman is different, but psychology helps us understand common emotional patterns and behaviors that often appear in relationships. So relax, listen carefully, and let's begin. Part 1. Love is emotional safety. For many women, love is deeply connected to emotional safety. This does not only mean physical safety. It means emotional comfort. A woman in love wants to feel understood, respected, emotionally accepted, and emotionally secure. Small things matter more than many people realize. The tone of someone's voice, the consistency of communication, attention to small details, kindness during difficult moments. These things create emotional trust. Many men think love is mainly about grand gestures, expensive gifts, luxury dates, big surprises, but psychology shows something interesting. For many women, emotional consistency creates stronger attachment than expensive displays. A simple message saying, "Did you eat today?" can feel more meaningful than something expensive, because love is often experienced emotionally before logically. And when emotional safety disappears, love slowly weakens. Part 2. Why women overthink in relationships. Many people say women overthink too much in love, but overthinking usually comes from emotional uncertainty. When communication changes, when attention changes, or when emotional behavior suddenly becomes cold, the mind starts searching for answers. Questions begin appearing. Did I do something wrong? Is he losing interest? Is something changing? Am I still important? The human brain dislikes uncertainty, and emotional uncertainty creates anxiety, especially when someone deeply cares. Sometimes a woman may appear calm externally, while internally analyzing every small detail. A delayed reply, a different tone, less attention. Small emotional changes can feel very big emotionally. This does not mean women are weak. It means emotional connection matters deeply to them. And when emotional connection feels unstable, the mind begins searching for emotional security again. Part 3. Women remember emotional details. One interesting psychological pattern is this: women often remember emotional moments very clearly. Not only major events, small moments too. A kind sentence during a difficult day, a supportive conversation, a painful argument, a moment of emotional neglect. Emotional memory can become very strong. This is why emotional experiences affect relationships deeply. Sometimes men forget conversations quickly, but women may remember exactly how something was said, how they felt, and how emotionally supported they felt during that moment. Because emotions create strong memory connections. This is also why trust matters so much. When trust is broken emotionally, the emotional memory remains for a long time, even after apologies. Part 3. Women remember emotional details. One interesting psychological pattern is this: women often remember emotional moments very clearly. Not only major events, small moments too. A kind sentence during a difficult day, a supportive conversation, a painful argument, a moment of emotional neglect. Emotional memory can become very strong. This is why emotional experiences affect relationships deeply. Sometimes men forget conversations quickly, but women may remember exactly how something was said, how they felt, and how emotionally supported they felt during that moment. Because emotions create strong memory connections. This is also why trust matters so much. When trust is broken emotionally, the emotional memory remains for a long time, even after apologies. Part 4. Why attention matters so much. Attention is one of the strongest emotional languages in relationships. When a woman loves someone, she often pays attention naturally, remembering details, noticing mood changes, caring about emotional well-being, and observing behavior carefully. So when attention disappears from the other side, it feels emotionally painful. Many relationship problems are not caused by lack of love. They are caused by lack of emotional presence. A person may physically stay in the relationship, but emotionally feel absent, and emotional absence creates distance slowly. Sometimes people think, I'm still here. Isn't that enough? But love needs emotional participation. Without emotional effort, relationships become emotionally empty. Part 5. Why women test emotional security. Sometimes women ask emotional questions like, do you really care about me? Would you stay during hard times? Am I important to you? These questions are often not about logic. They are about reassurance. Psychologically, emotional reassurance helps reduce anxiety in relationships, especially when someone becomes emotionally attached. Love creates vulnerability, and vulnerability creates fear of emotional pain. So many women unconsciously look for emotional stability and reassurance, not because they want control, but because emotional security feels calming. Part 6. When a woman becomes distant. One of the most misunderstood things in relationships is emotional distance. Sometimes a woman becomes quieter, less expressive, less emotionally open. Many people immediately assume she stopped caring. But psychology is often more complex. Sometimes emotional distance appears because she feels emotionally unheard, emotionally exhausted, emotionally unsafe, or emotionally disappointed repeatedly. When emotional needs stay ignored for too long, people slowly stop expressing them. Not because the feelings disappeared, but because hope becomes weaker. This is why communication matters deeply in relationships. Small unresolved emotional pain can slowly become emotional disconnection. Part 7. Love and emotional energy. Women often invest emotional energy heavily in relationships. Thinking, caring, supporting, listening, helping emotionally. And emotional energy is powerful. But emotional burnout is real too. When one person gives emotional effort constantly without receiving emotional understanding, exhaustion appears. This is why healthy relationships require balance, not perfection. Balance. Both people should feel valued, heard, respected, and emotionally appreciated. Love becomes unhealthy when only one person carries emotional responsibility. Part 8. Why communication is everything. Many relationship problems are actually communication problems. People expect mind reading, but human beings cannot fully understand unspoken emotions. Some people stay silent hoping the other person notices their pain automatically. But silence often creates misunderstanding instead of healing. Healthy communication means expressing emotions honestly, listening carefully, and speaking respectfully even during conflict. Psychology shows that emotionally healthy couples do not avoid problems completely. They learn how to communicate through problems calmly. And emotional maturity becomes more important than temporary emotions. Part 9. The difference between attention and love. Modern relationships often confuse attention with love. Social media created constant validation. Likes, messages, reactions, attention from strangers. But attention is not always emotional connection. Real love is deeper. Love appears in consistency, in loyalty, in emotional support during difficult moments, in patience, in understanding. Anyone can give temporary attention, but emotional commitment is different, and many women secretly look for emotional stability more than temporary excitement. Because deep emotional connection creates peace, not confusion. Part 10. What women truly want in love. Every person is different, but psychologically, many women deeply value emotional safety, trust, consistency, respect, understanding, emotional effort, and genuine care. Not perfection. Perfection does not exist. Most people simply want to feel emotionally important to someone, to feel chosen, appreciated, and emotionally safe. Love becomes powerful when two people stop trying to win against each other and start understanding each other instead. Love is beautiful, but love also requires emotional maturity. Understanding emotions can improve relationships greatly. Not only romantic relationships, but all human connections, because every human being wants to feel understood, valued, and emotionally safe. If you enjoyed this episode, thank you for listening. Take care of your heart, protect your peace, and remember, healthy love should bring emotional comfort, not constant emotional fear. Thank you for listening to Learn English through podcast, and we will meet again in the next episode.